Windows 8 is a lot different than Windows 7. However, our hope is with this tutorial video that you'll learn some tips and tricks to make it easier to adapt to this new operating system. Windows 8 was designed with a touch interface in mind, so it's a really great operating system for something like a phone or a tablet. However, unless you have a touch computer, it gets a little bit tricky because things are hidden that we're used to seeing, such as a start menu or our ability to find the different applications in the computer. So let's go ahead and learn a couple of these tips and tricks and see if it'll help you work with Windows 8 and feel a bit better about using this operating system. What we're seeing right here when you first log in is the start page. And this start page has a bunch of different pieces of information and programs, and these are what we call charms. So we have a news charm here, we have the Internet Explorer charm for an application, and we even have a charm so we can see the regular desktop that we're used to. This allows everything to be right at your fingertips so it's easier to access. However, it can get kind of frustrating when it doesn't have the charms that you wish it had. So let's go ahead and talk about how to add charms onto your start screen. If you right-click anywhere outside of a charm, so anywhere over here, not on the charms itself, but if you right-click, it's going to bring up this bottom bar that allows you to choose all apps. This is going to show you all of the applications on your computer. So I like to use Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Access quite a bit. So I'll scroll over, and I'm looking for Microsoft Office 2003, and I'll find Word first, and I'm going to right-click on Word, and it's going to bring up another menu that allows you to uninstall the program, pin it to the start page, which is what we want to do, open it, etc. So right now we'll pin it to the start page, and let's go ahead and choose PowerPoint 2013. I'll right click on it and choose pin to start, and right click on Excel, pin to start, and right click on Access and pin to start. So then we can pin any more charms that we want to, and if you're unsure if it was pinned or not, you can click on or right click on that program, and now you can see there's unpin from the start. Now if you want this to also appear on your desktop in the taskbar, which we'll go to in a second, then you can do that here. So I'll go ahead and click pin to taskbar, and remember that I did this so when I show you later you can see where it went to. Alright, so now that we are done pinning the applications that we like, we can minimize here, and this is going to show us actually more applications or an easier way to find them. So to get back to the start menu, you're kind of wondering where you need to go. Now when it comes to the Windows 8 operating system, it's hidden some different things so that you can still easily access them, but they're not in your field of vision. They're not taking up space. This is hard though when you're first learning this operating system because you don't know where anything is. So the important thing to remember with Windows 8 is that the corners are really important. So if I hover my mouse over the bottom left hand corner, you'll see a little icon come up for the start screen. When that icon comes up, you don't have to move your mouse, you can just move all the way to the left corner, click it, and you'll go back to your start screen. If you move all the way to the top right or all the way to the bottom right, you're going to see our charms menu, and this is going to allow us to go to different areas of our computer to do different things. Change the settings on our computer, find the devices that are hooked up to our computer, share something, and search our computer. Okay, so now if I scroll along my start screen, you can see that here are all those charms that I just added. Now these are all the software tools that I use, let's say for work. I can actually create a group with these. So I can hit the minimize button, and this is going to show you the entire start page, and these are in a group, and you are able to move charms around, and because they're all four in a group, I can right click and now I can name that group. So I'll call this work apps. Work apps. And then click name, double click, and it'll let you zoom back in. So now this group has been categorized or named to make it easier to work with. So let's say I use Excel a little bit more than PowerPoint, I can move my charms around as needed. So let's talk about how to get to the desktop and use your computer in the way that you're more familiar with. You can choose the desktop charm, and that'll take you straight to the desktop. And it looks pretty similar to what we've been working with, but unfortunately it's missing the start menu. Well, when you go to the bottom left, there's a start menu or the start page, but we're used to clicking on start and going to programs and finding everything from there. And just so you know, sometime in fall 2013, Office is going to release Windows 8.1, and it's going to bring back some of that functionality that we're used to. So from here, we can open up some of the icons on our desktop. We can work with any of the items on our taskbar. So this is our taskbar, and remember when I actually added the Excel charm to the taskbar, that's why that one is there. So I can go ahead and open up a program. Let's say I wanted to open up Mozilla Firefox. And this is going to bring up a regular window that we are pretty familiar with. In terms of finding things, it's a little bit difficult because we can go back to our start page here, we can search our computer, but what you're going to be using most often is something called the File Explorer. And this allows you to explore the files on your computer. So you can go to your desktop, your downloads folder, and in your libraries folder you have your traditional documents, pictures, music, and videos folders. And then this is where you can go to computer and you can find your flash drive and your DVD drive and anything connected through a network. So what happens when you plug something in like a flash drive or you put a DVD into a Windows 8 system? Well, unfortunately, I've already kind of done this on this computer. The first time you ever plug a flash drive in, it actually brings up a little window in the upper right hand corner asking you, what do you want to do with this type of an object? And I chose to have it always open files. Let me show you what that looks like. I'll right click on the flash drive and go to autoplay, and so it's going to bring up this little window that gives you these 4 options. So I originally chose open folder to view files. Once you choose something, it won't ask you that question again. The only way to change what it does is to right click on that object, do open autoplay, and then change what it does. So for this one, I just want to open folder to view files, and that's what's going to happen anytime you plug in a flash drive. So when it comes to looking in File Explorer, we have a couple of different controls or features that are actually pretty cool for Windows 8. So if I click on my flash drive, all of a sudden I have these options up here. And this helps me to figure out how can I rename it, how can I open it. If I go to manage, I can eject it, and that's really good because you never just want to pull it out of your computer. When you're finished with your flash drive and you've closed all your programs, you want to come and eject it right here to make sure it doesn't corrupt your drive. But for now, let's go ahead and eject it because this is just basics of how to run a Windows 8 machine. So now you know how to find your documents, how to find your flash drive, and you know how to get to the start menu and how to get to the desktop. And last but not least, you're probably wondering, how in the world do I actually shut this computer down? Well, that one's a little bit trickier. Again, if you move to the top right or the bottom right corner of the screen, you're going to bring up your Charms menu, and you're going to go to Settings, and this is again where you can change, you can personalize your PC, you can change the brightness or the audio of it, you can go to Power, which is what we're going to do, and we're going to choose to either sleep, shut down, or restart. So hopefully this video has helped you adapt to Windows 8. It's going to take some practice and getting used to the different processes instead of what we're normally used to, such as with the start menu. But also remember that with Windows 8.1, it's going to bring back some of those features that we really know and love. When it comes to working with a computer with a touch system, Windows 8 as it is going to be really great. But if you're using a mouse, you're probably going to want to update to Windows 8.1.